Let's go to the next chapter, Projektunterricht. This chapter has got the following subtopics. First is introduction. Then we go into what exactly is Projektunterricht, what are all the materials and the Voraussetzungen, so prerequisites, how to plan and execute this theme, and what are all the examples. We will see them one by one. So to introduce, the book basically gives the advantages of the Projektunterricht. It lists some 6 reasons for the same. Let's look at all of them one by one. First is, you work with all your senses. It helps to develop the proactiveness or Selbstständigkeit. You start taking the initiative on your own and you work on the task. It improves the planning capability of the person, improves the social competence of the person, how to handle people. From a teacher's perspective, it gives the opportunity to Binnendifferenzierung. So every student, according to his Fähigkeit, capability, and his interest, they would contribute to the project. It connects methodical learning with an experiential learning. So far they would have learnt this rule, blah blah blah, and now they would know how to implement the same in a real life situation. That way they would solve problems which they encounter during this project arbeit. They will take the ownership to solve it as well. You use all Fertigkeit, all 4 Fertigkeit will be used to communicate. It has got a higher learning effect because the students have a personal attachment to the topic and to the project. So that way, Projektunterricht is like an overall packet or a practice of what they have learnt. What exactly is Projektunterricht then? Projektunterricht means the students and the teacher together solve beschlossene Aufgabe. Beschlossene Aufgabe is basically some kind of a target achievable task. And they do it in a practical, constructive and proactive manner. You have to make sure that the topic you choose is always with respect to the learning interests of the students. Once the task is over, you must present the results, and technically the student should present the results in front of a public gathering. In this case, it could be the classroom or the school itself. There are 2 types of projects. One is Projekt mit Engen Sinn, the narrow goal. Then you have Projekt mit Weitern Sinn, a wide or a broad goal. We will see the difference between the two in the next slide. So, Projekt mit Engen Sinn, Projekt mit Weitern Sinn. In case of Projekt mit Engen Sinn, the problem is limited. It's bound by a boundary and there will be instructions given to solve the problem. In case of Projekt mit Weitern Sinn, you will have a general problem described and you have to come up with how to solve the problem, and you will never know the steps or procedures which needs to be followed. In case of Engen Sinn, you just execute it once and the project is done. In case of Weitern Sinn, it has to be a step-by-step execution of the solution because you have to go iteratively to correct any mistakes. In case of Engen Sinn, you already know what needs to be used because those have been introduced in the classroom or you would have practiced from somewhere. In this case, all you have is just the knowledge And even if you don't have the knowledge, then you have to come up with ways to acquire that knowledge. And then you have to gather the information which you need for identifying the problem and then coming up with a solution. Typical example for this Engen Sinn project is Theaterstück. You just replay or implement a play. Whereas in case of a broader project, it's die Forschungsarbeit über die Interesse von Schulen. Here in this case, you have to go to individual class, take a research, take a survey, find out what their interests are. So you can see the big difference between the two, right? This is just execution of one play where you already know what needs to be spoken, etc. Whereas in this case, it's a real life project. So regardless of the project types, there are some common rules which are applicable for the projects. All the Teilnehmer, all the project participants should work with own responsibility and they should decide on the tasks themselves. They should agree on the Arbeitsprozess, the project process, and they also should organize and plan the same on their own. The process of execution and the result, they have the same weightage at the end.
With that, the chapter comes to an end. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment to the channel. If you have any questions, then contact me via email or put down your comments and I'll be able to reply. Thank you.